let's talk winged liquid eyeliner. Who loves a wing? I know I do. But I know that loads of you have been saying you find it really, really tricky to do wings. So I'm going to use Senegence Eye Sense liquid liner in black. They do black brown as well, which gives a much softer appearance, but I'm going to use black because it will show up more so that you'll be able to see what I'm doing a lot clearer. I've just got a really pale eyeshadow on as well because I wanted it to stand out so you could see what I'm doing. I would normally do my eyeliner before I do mascara, but I've been taking some photos and stuff of the eyeshadow, so I thought I would just hop on and show you the eyeliner. So this liquid liner, very much like Lip Sense, it has cosmetic grade alcohol in the formula, so it creates a bond with your skin. So it also has a little ball bearing in there because these products are so highly pigmented. So the colour pigments are suspended in the cosmetic grade alcohol. So you need to give it a good shake up first of all so that it's going to mix those colour pigments with the alcohol so that it doesn't give you a streaky finish. Now there's a lot of different ways of doing eyeliner, but I just find this the easiest way. So one of the biggest things to start off with, use a handheld mirror rather than a mirror that is in front of you, and kind of place it around here because you're then going to be looking down into the mirror, and as you're looking down you're naturally going to lift your eyebrows up, which is then going to create a lot more space between your brow and your lash line. So it's going to give you much more room to work with, which is really important because particularly if you're like me and you've got hooded eyes, when you're doing liquid liner, between when you apply it and it dries, although this one dries really quickly because it's got the cosmetic grade alcohol, if you then sort of open your eyes before it's fully dry, you get them little bits of eyeliner on your eyelid here, don't you? And it's so annoying. So look down into your mirror and that really helps to prevent that. Now with this one, I literally take it out. It's got a really fine brush. Like with Lip Sense, wipe off the excess off of the little brush, because all the products are designed to be layered and built up. So if you want to do more layers, you absolutely can do. But just start off really small and thin layers to begin with to get your line in place in where you want it. So by wiping off the excess, it means you've not got too much on your product or too much product on your brush to deal with in the first place. So what I like to start with first is getting my line started at the front of my eye. Now, if you've got reasonably hooded eyes like me, you don't always want to go right into this right inner corner where your tear duct is, because all that's going to do is kind of close your eyes up even more. So I tend to start mine looking down into my mirror about here. So I've just popped a little kind of line or dot, if you like, just there, which is where I then start mine. When you are doing it, use the brush lengthways, so you're going across rather than towards you like you would a pencil, because if you're going this way, you've got much more control over the brush as you're applying. And do little bits at a time. Less is more. Like I say, you can always build up that line afterwards, after you've got it exactly where you want it. And if you do little bits at a time, you're going to have much more control over where that line is going. So I'm just going to do little bits at a time, look. Slowly does it. And go along that lash line. Now at this point, it doesn't matter if it's completely straight, to be honest. So don't worry too much. All you're doing is getting your basic line to where you want it to be to begin with. Now, when I get to about here, if I'm going to do a wing, I will stop a little bit in from the end, because this is the tricky bit for a lot of people. If you've got hooded eyes, it's going to affect where you want your wing to start, because if you haven't got hooded eyes, you could literally carry on along the lash line and take the wing out here. But if you've got hooded eyes, that affects how the wing looks once it's finished. So if I was to draw it down here, it wouldn't really do anything to help my eyes, basically. So if you're going to do a wing, you want it to give the best effect, and for it to kind of give an illusion, particularly with hooded eyes, of lifting your eyes up. So when you've got hooded eyes again, make sure, even if you haven't got hooded eyes, just take off the excess off the brush so that you've got literally hardly any product. And look how fine that little brush is. So incredibly easy to use. So now we're going to work out where we want our line to go. So because I've got hooded eyes, when my eyes are open, I want my wing to kind of come here. just going to put a tiny little dot. Because if it's kind of almost in line with my brow, it's going to almost kind of give the illusion of lifting my eyes up, which is amazing. No cosmetic surgery, no huge amounts of money involved. So I've just popped a little line there with my eye open of where I want my wing to finish. Now obviously I've done quite a bold dramatic wing. You don't have to have it as high up as that. You could do it there instead. Don't have to have it that bold. It's entirely your choice. I'll show you both ways. So you've got a little dot. So say whichever line we were doing, however long we were going to do our wing, once you've got your end point, just do yourself another couple of dots to where it's going to join up to your eyeliner on your lash line here. Then get some more product, but again, wipe off the excess off of your brush. You really just want a tiny, tiny amount of product, because again, you can build this line up thicker to make it a bigger, bolder wing afterwards if you want to, but equally, you don't have to if you just want a small line. So then you go, remember to be going lengthways, and where you have wiped off the excess off your brush, let me just show you, it kind of creates a flat edge as well. So you want to be using the flat edge lengthways to create your line. So you're going to go and join up your dots. So I've done it to the smallest point first, so I'll show you there first. There you go. Then, ta-da! Then you can see, have a look in the mirror, how that looks. So if you're just doing a small wing, that's going to look absolutely fine. So then you can work out where you're going to bring your wing to. So I would then do a couple more dots. There you go. You kind of want it like a long triangle. And then you're just going to join up from the end of where you went to with your lash line. So you've created like a little triangle there. There you go. And then when you have got your eyes open, you're going to see your wing. So then all you need to do is fill in your triangle. So again, wipe off the excess. And just fill in your wing, like so. Ta-da! Then, all you need to do then, again, wipe off the excess off of the brush. And you're just going to work out where you're going to, like, thicken this bit to kind of make it a little bit more seamless, so that it's not like a V shape. So, we're going to put a little dot there. So now I'm just going to join up from my lash line, meet up with my little dot across to my wing, and then again all you do is fill it in. So they just fill in like so. And then if you want to make that wing bolder, you just put on more layers to make it bolder. If you want to make it longer, you absolutely can make it longer. So where I did that first dot, I can now join that one up instead. So I can go from here to do a really bold dramatic wing. And again, always wiping off the excess off your brush. I'm just going to create a couple of little dots going down to the end of my lash line, because it's going to finish in a slightly different place. And then you just join up those dots like so. There you go. And then again, you just fill in your little triangle. So we just fill that in. Then if you wanted to make this bit here a little bit bolder, because obviously we've just done a much bigger, bolder wing, again, wipe off the excess so that you then get that flat edge that you're then going to go across with. And then we can just build up this front bit and go a bit thicker to meet up with your wing. And above all else, it is simply trial and error to find that point for you that works best for your particular eye shape. This one's really, really good because you've seen it's got such a tiny, fine little brush with it that it makes it so super easy to have more control over what you're doing. Plus, because it's got the cosmetic grade alcohol, it dries really super quickly, which is really, really good. So let me just see if that is dry. Yeah, it's pretty much there nearly. And because it's already dry, it's absolutely, totally budge proof. Not going to get panda eyes with these wings whatsoever. So let's just recap. Depending on where your wing needs to go, because everyone's got a different eye shape. So start off, even if you want a little tiny wing, let's do a small one to begin with over here. So, wipe off the excess liquid so that you've given yourself a flat edge to work from. Oops. And then we're going to use that flat edge to place a couple of little dots there, look. So you're going to join your dots up first, like so. And it doesn't really matter if you're going to do your wing first or this end first. It's all about where you're then going to join them up. So I started doing a really small wing this side first. So now I'm going to take off that excess and then start this side. Again, just do a tiny little bit at a time as you go along. And have the mirror down here because it creates a lot more room. Gives you much more eyelid to work with to be able to do your wing. And then if you need a bit more, just get a bit more. Just always remember to wipe the excess off the brush. So then when we get about here, just a little bit in from the end of your lash line, that's when we're going to do our little dots to join up your wing. Whether it's a short wing or a long wing, it doesn't matter. It's exactly the same principle. So we now just pop a couple of little dots there that you can then use as your guide to join up to create your little triangle for your wing there. And then you just fill in your triangle. Like so. Ta-da! And then if you wanted, again, to make this a bit bolder, you absolutely can do, because these products are designed to be layered as much as you like, to build up, to get the perfect wing, exactly how you want it. So this side I've done obviously a much shorter wing, and slightly less bold into this inner corner as well. And then on this side we've done a much bolder, sharper wing. And although it looks as though it's coming down in a step, that's because I've got a hooded eye. So if you've got hooded eyes, it is going to come down in a step rather than sort of coming out from the side straight in. Because otherwise when your eyes are open, it's then going to just make you look like you've got saggy eyes, quite frankly. And as soon as it dries, with this eye sense, it's incredible, because you are never, ever going to have panda eyes from liquid liner ever again. Look. Absolutely down to budge proof, totally water resistant, just goddamn amazing. Fabulous wings.